Salam and welcome everyone. So today we're going to be working on the question on the screen for chemistry students who are either in high school or trying to take a test. So the question is, how many electrons are in the element K with a superscript 39? So you have above it in the left corner, you have 39 and then you have the symbol K. So they want to know how many electrons are in the element K with the atomic mass of 39. So the one thing you need to know generally whenever you're studying chemistry is this is a question that tests your knowledge of the periodic table as well as tests your understanding of symbols and what they mean, like very basic chemistry. So the first thing you have to know that generally, if you have an element X and at the bottom you have say 4 and at the top you have, let's just say, 50. This is just an example. This is not an element in any way, shape, or form. Note that this X is a symbol, okay, for an element. And then this 4 is usually the atomic number, also known as, you can also call it the number of protons, because the atomic number and the number of protons are always going to be the same. So the atomic number or the number of protons, while the 50 up top here is telling you the atomic mass or the mass number of the element. So this is basically what's going on. The big letter is the symbol for the element. The small number at the bottom left corner is the atomic mass or the number of protons, while the number at the top left corner is the atomic mass or mass number of the element. So in this particular case, you have the information K. So we have K to be the element. Okay, so K is the element, and K represents the element potassium or potassium, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, 39 is going to be the atomic mass or the mass number. Now, the question is asking you the number of electrons. This question also requires you to understand that the number of protons, as well as the atomic number, as well as the electrons, are always going to be the same for an atom. So let me write this down. In an atom, okay, the atomic number, the number of protons, and the number of electrons are always the same number. So what this is telling you is that in an atom, the atomic number, the number of protons, as well as the number of electrons are always going to be the same. And the reason why I have to say this is because some students do not realize that in an atom, the atomic number, the number of protons, as well as number of electrons are always going to be the same number. But in a situation where you have ions, so in an ion, okay, the atomic number, the number of protons, so in an ion, the atomic number and the number of protons are the same, while the number of so the number of electrons differs. So that's what's going on. So for example, here, say we had a situation where we had K plus, this plus is just representing K, and then you have plus one is just going to tell you that whatever the number of protons is, okay, you minus one from the value, and that's how you're going to be able to get the number of electrons. Okay, so that's how that goes. Now I also wanted to mention, say you have K minus, there's nothing that exists that is like this, but if you had K minus, whatever the number of protons is or the atomic number is, you just add a plus one, so it switches. So if you have plus one, it's telling you that it's going to lose, okay, so positive sign or for an ion, it means it loses one electron. And then a negative sign for an ion means it gains one electron. So in a situation where it's K2 plus, it's going to lose two electrons. In a situation where it's K5 plus, it's going to lose five electrons. In a situation where it's K2 minus, it's going to gain two electrons. And in a situation where it's K4 minus, it's going to gain four electrons. So I just wanted to just do a quick refresher. Now that I've done all of this, you're going to be wondering, this still does not tell us how many electrons are in the element. But one thing it does tell us is that this is an atom, because we don't see any plus or minus on the value for K. And since we don't see that, we know we're not dealing with an ion, we're dealing with an atom. So if we can determine what the atomic number is, we can automatically determine the number of electrons, because yes, we expect that since this is an atom, the atomic number is going to equal the number of protons, is also going to equal the number of electrons, because they're all going to be the same number. So now I'm going to teach you a method for you to be able to determine this all the time. You're going to have to memorize the first 20 elements in the periodic table. And this is standard for a lot of this is actually standard for a lot of chemistry high school tests. It doesn't really matter the country. I learned this when I was back home in my own country, and it's the same thing in the US, in Australia, in many other countries. You have to memorize what the first 20 elements are. So I'm going to use a mnemonic that I used when I was in middle school to learn this. So it's called he has large brain, but can not offer full 9 subjects. May all silly people stop calling against people's characters. So this is how I was taught, and I still remember this over 10 years later. So memorize the first 20 elements on the periodic table. So it is just simply, he has large brain, but cannot offer full 9 subjects. May all silly people stop calling against people's characters. So the first one would be hydrogen. Okay, so the first one is going to be hydrogen. The second one is going to be helium. And of course, hydrogen has the symbol H. And then you have helium, which has the symbol He. You have L, large, which is just simply lithium. And it has the symbol Li. We've got B, which is just simply beryllium, which has the symbol Be. We have But, which is just simply boron, which has the symbol B. We have can, which simply is carbon, and it has the symbol C. We have not, which is simply nitrogen, okay, and it has the symbol N. We have offer, which is just simply oxygen, and it has the symbol O. We have full, which is simply fluorine, which has the symbol F. We have 9, which is simply neon, which has the symbol Ne. We have subjects, which is simply sodium, which has the symbol Na. So you have to memorize this here. Sometimes the beginning of each word just tells you the first letter of the element. It doesn't really tell you what the symbol is. So please do pay attention to that. We have May, which is simply magnesium, which has the symbol Mg. You have all, which is simply aluminium, which has the symbol Al. You have silly, which is simply silicon, And you can see that for some of them, the letter after the first letter matches, but don't depend on that. I'll advise you to actually memorize it so you have more confidence. And the silicon has the symbol Si. We have people, which is simply phosphorus, which has the symbol P. We have S, which is simply sulfur, which has the symbol S. We have choline, which is simply chlorine, which has the symbol Cl. And you have against, which is simply argon, and it has the symbol Ar. And peoples, which is simply potassium, okay, which has the symbol K. And of course, characters, which is simply calcium, which has the symbol Ca. Now, I have written all of this. He has large brain, but cannot offer full 9 subjects. May all silly people stop calling against people's characters. Now, on the side of each one of this, you have whatever the atomic number is. So the atomic number, which I'm just going to write A sub N M N U M. So atomic number is just going to correspond to what it is when I say it has large brain. So the atomic number for hydrogen is simply 1. Atomic number for helium is 2. The atomic number for lithium is 3. And note, this is going to equal the number of electrons, the number of protons, as yeah, as well as the atomic number. So we have beryllium. So the atomic number is 4, meaning the number of protons is 4, and the number of electrons is also 4. So you have boron. The atomic number, of course, is 5. You've got a situation where carbon, the atomic number is 6. Here, nitrogen is 7. Atomic number for oxygen is 8. Atomic number for fluorine is 9. Atomic number for neon is 10. Atomic number for sodium is 11. Atomic number for magnesium is 12. Atomic number for aluminium is 13. Atomic number for silicon is 14. Atomic number for phosphorus is 15. Atomic number, the number of protons as well as the number of electrons, is 16 for sulfur. Atomic number for chlorine is 17. Atomic number for argon is 18. Atomic number for potassium is 19. Atomic number for calcium is 20. So this is basically the question, right? This is basically all of the atomic numbers. And don't forget, all this that I've put hydrogen down to calcium, they are all atoms. So expect that the number of protons, the atomic number, and the number of electrons will be the same. So when we go down to the bottom where we have potassium, K, because that was the question that we're given, we see that the atomic number is 19. Okay. And since this is potassium with a K that is an atom and not an ion, expect that it's going to not just be 19 for the number of protons. So it's not just going to be that, or it's not going to be atomic number of 19 for potassium. It's also going to be the number of electrons. So the number of electrons in this particular question with the symbol K, an atomic mass unit of 39, is simply 19. So A is the answer to this question. If you have any questions, suggestions, or concerns, please put in the comment section. If you're a student who is trying to succeed in all your STEM-related courses, whether you're in middle school, high school, or university, make sure you email me at shahabitutoring@gmail.com. This particular video is dedicated to students who are trying to succeed in high school chemistry as well as test prep chemistry. So yeah, don't forget to like this video. And like I said, have any questions, put in the comment section. I wish you guys all the very best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.